Welcome to my home. I want to talk about bits and pieces. We've been so busy recently. I've been down south to move my children up north, and that was totally chaotic and exhausting, and we had to sleep on a sofa bed. You know, they're instruments of torture. Really they are. They're not comfortable at all. I've never slept on a really comfortable sofa bed. Anyway, they've now moved, I'm back home, and I'm exhausted. And I thought I would stay in today because outside there's the most fearful and awesome black ice everywhere. There are cars stuck on the roads, accidents all round, and they're asking people, please stay at home. So I am, and I'm talking to you. I wanted to tell you about my trip down in the car with my daughter and her baby and my husband. Everywhere we stopped, well, everywhere sounds a lot, but we stopped on the way down at a filling station, as people do, to go to the loo and to buy coffee and rest. Well, everywhere we did that, I went in to check whether electronic cigarettes were being sold. On the way down, they were. They were being sold in Smith's. At the counter, there was a display of e-lights, and they look, of course, just like cigarettes, which is disappointing in one way, but pleasing in another, because they are for smokers who need to do something instead of smoking. But what interested me was at the counter, there was the cigarette with its cartomizer on it, the electronic cigarette, and they were all menthol. Well, for me that's disappointing. I've never smoked menthol, and I'm sure a lot of smokers don't smoke menthol. But I think it was a clever ploy, because the cartomizer boxes, so let me tell you, the e-light was $6.99 or about £7. It advertised, I think, that you could get about 50 cigarettes out of your battery, and it was a rechargeable battery. That was pleasing. You could also buy the charger if you wanted. Out of your electronic e-light, they suggested you'd get about the value of 50 analogues. Well, I've told you they were all menthol. Underneath the cigarette that was on display were boxes of cartomizers, 2 cartomizers to a box. And guess what? Most of them were menthol. And then there was a few carts, 2 in a box, that were mild. So if I had been a desperate smoker arriving there to buy my electronic cigarette, I'd have been frightfully disappointed. I don't smoke menthol. I never smoked menthol, and I smoked something much stronger than mild. And the cost of 2 carts in a box was $7.99, say £8. Well, I know I get my carts much cheaper from Cloud9 or Jack Vapor, so they are expensive. He said, the man behind the counter told me, oh, they're refillable, you can fill them with any e-juice of your choice. But the point is, at that place, if somebody had come in who was desperate for a cigarette, I don't think offering menthols and lights was very sensible. It didn't seem right to me, and it seemed to be a ploy. If you didn't like menthol, you could buy a box for an extra £8 of mild, just plain tobacco flavour. So something in me stirred. I'm always suspicious of greed and avarice and marketing, and how we are manipulated in shops to doing things that we might not want to do. So that was going down. We then exhausted ourselves packing boxes for the movers and sleeping in a torturous sofa bed. But we came home alive and quite well, but tired, and we stopped at Warwick. The Warwick Welcome Break has got not a single electronic cigarette offer anywhere. Smith's is also there. No e-cigs. The garage, which is attached but not the same venue really, they don't offer electronic cigarettes either. So somebody get yourself to Warwick and please put some electronic cigarettes in for the smokers who are wanting to make the switch, or smokers who need some kind of support system in places where they can't smoke. Down there I used my battery from my Elegance, and I used it because it turns off, and I'm still not quite happy with my Vigo, even with the clip on. I used the Elegance, and on the way back, because of all the chaos of packing, I didn't have time to charge the battery properly. So I started that journey off, which is a 6-hour journey, or sometimes, horrors, it's been a 9-hour journey. But on that journey I had an Elegance battery that was about halfway, and I knew it was going to run out. And I discovered an interesting thing. When I bought my V3s from Jack Vapor, I got the travel case, and there it is, and it's a really nice little travel case. It was the last one of this kind, but in it those are white carts with vanilla, and in it you also have a place for your V3, so that's a little V3 that fits in here, and this is a little switch in which you screw the V3 and it charges it. It's a charger on the move to replenish the energy in the charger. You plug it into the computer with that USB switch and it charges itself up. It says, and I think it does, do about 5 V3s on one charge of the charger. But it also does the Elegance. Look, I took this with me and I screwed. You try and do. I took this with me and I screwed in my Elegance on the way home, and it charged in the car. So by the time I had used up my other battery, this one was full by the time I got home. So I thought I'd show you. The Elegance also fits the fittings for the V3. On the Elegance, I've discovered it's very long for stealth vaping, but if I screw on a short cart, this makes it shorter than the long carts that come with the Elegance with the mouthpiece on it. And this, you can actually cover the battery with your hand and do some good stealth vaping. Double breath, and very little comes out. But I got the throat hit, and nobody knew that I was vaping. We've been so busy with moving and boxes and packing and babies, I haven't had time to order the stuff I need. I need new e-juice, and I'm going to try the extra large cartomizers from Jack Vapor. But I'm still getting my head round things. Today, because of the black ice everywhere, I'm at home and I made this movie. Thanks for vaping with me.